Hi, it's Sandra here from Creating Spain. Normally I make videos on crafting. Today is an exception. I'm doing one on nail stamping. Now I'm not actually going into the techniques of nail stamping so much as how to practice it and practice it on the cheap. Okay, before you waste a lot of your specialty nail polishes and basically knock yourself out with fumes. She says, speaking from experience. I spent this morning playing around with this, and believe me, I have one heck of a headache after I finished, until I suddenly realised, what was I doing? There are alternatives. Okay, now I have a couple of plates here, this metal one and a plastic one. I have this scraper and I have two of the stamping tools. This one, which is quite firm, definitely on the firm side, that one. And my preferred one, I think, which is this one, which is a jelly one, which I quite like because you can A, see through it to a certain extent, and B, it's soft and squidgy. In fact, it's almost like having a wine gum on the end of here. Right, okay, so to the practice. From my research, it seems to be problematic. The main reason, I believe, is because of the scrapers. I've got 3 scrapers here. This obviously is the one that comes with a kit. This will do the plastic one. It will not do the metal one. Forget it. It's useless for the metal one. This will do neither. This is a DIY type scraper, but it's just not good. It doesn't work. This is a piece of a folder from a stationer's that, for whatever reason, I'd cut up previously. This works. Okay. I didn't have any old credit cards to try out, so you had to find something else. Now, what you do need to do is make sure that if you run your finger along the edge, it doesn't feel any bumps. This side, I can feel some bumps under there, so I wouldn't use that edge. But I would use that edge, and it's always better to use a manufactured edge unless you're very sure that your cut edges are A, straight, and B, bump free. So manufactured edge, as in it was on the corner of a folder and that doesn't have any bumps on. So it's flexible but not very, very flexible. I have found the best method for holding it is to put your fingertips near the base, let it bend, hold it at an angle, but let it bend and let it do the work. Do not press overly hard. Okay, so my big tip for practicing this is a cheap set of Craft oil paints. Okay, now admittedly you don't need a whole set, but this cost €3.60 a couple of years ago, and I got them for other use, so I didn't buy them especially for this. But having suffered the fumes from the nail polish this morning, I suddenly thought there must be a better way, and this is it. Now, I admit you can't use this when you actually do your nails, but the consistency is very similar to that of the sort of nail polish you would want to do your stamping. So when it comes out, it is a relatively soft. That's why I say you're better off with a cheapy one. You don't want the really stiff artist grade oil paints. You want soft and squidgy, because that is more or less what you're going to be dealing with. Okay. Now, if you do happen to have a set of them hanging around, that's even better because you can play around with colours as well. So you can do ombre stamping. Now, there's 2 other real advantages to using this. Firstly, it's forgiving. It's not going to dry on you very quickly. Secondly, the cleanup is easy. A bottle of baby oil will clean up your stamp beautifully. And you don't have to suffer the fumes from your stamp, your nail polish remover. So let's have a little go on this one, for example. So I'm just going to put a little bit of paint on there, And I've done it before, so I'm going to use another colour as well, why not? To clean off my brush just a little bit. And I'm going to put another colour there. Now, you notice I'm going all the way over the stamped image. You don't have to, but you can. You can do it halfway across if you want, or you can do it all the way. Now I'm going to turn this because it's easier for me to work pulling towards me. Now again, I've got my short side and pull down like so. That's probably about right. So take my stamp tool and pick it up, and there you can see perfectly picked up, not a problem. Now the other thing you need is a lint roller to get the paint off of your stamp tool whenever you want to get rid of the excess. Okay, so that is basically it, and you can then put on some baby oil and squidge it around a bit. If you have one of these things which is designed for your face, you can use that to get into all the crevices, and at the end of your session you can just wipe it all off and you have a nice clean stamp plate. And obviously you can wipe it over with alcohol or nail polish remover at a later time if you so wish. Okay, so that is the first bit. Just dump that in the bin. Right, next, plastic spoons. Don't bother going to get yourself fake nails to do. Just use some plastic coffee spoons and use the back of them to test your nail polishes out as and when you want to. Okay, so when you do get around to doing it with actual nail polish, you can use these. Now, I've got some that I have done, and I actually bought a very, very cheap €1 nail polish, and it's brilliant. It coats black in one coat. Wonderful. So I don't know if you can see this too easily, but there's a design on there which I did with a powder. Now again, you can buy specialist nail powders, and they're probably reasonably expensive unless you go to AliExpress or something. But you don't have to use those. You might have something else very suitable. In here I have some loose powdered eyeshadow. It came in one of those little pots with a brush attached and everything. It's all very sweet. But I decanted it. You take the bottom out of the container and you can empty it out. And I've done that for ease of use because I use this for craft use. Now what you can do is take a brush, a nice dry brush, and when you have a clean plate, and mine is somewhat damp with oil at the moment, so I'm going to move that to one side and just show you on here. If you have a nice clean plate, you can put this on your stamping image. You can go over the entire thing if you want. Now you want to take off the excess. Now this may not work very well on this plate because I'm not sure it's completely flat, but one of the easy ways of taking off the excess is to go over it with the lint roller, because if you have a flat plate and a flat lint roller, it will take off the excess powder from the areas that you don't want it. And I said this one isn't actually flat. If I did it on the metal one, it'd be fine. And you then just take your stamping tool and you pick up your design and you transfer it to your tacky nail polish. When you've got your nail polish not actually dry but at the tacky stage, you apply that and then you get a nice design on your nail. The other way of using it is to take your, again, tacky polish, dip your finger, this won't work on this one because this is completely dry, but dip your finger in and put it all over the tacky polish and it will change the colour. So for example, just rub that off. That was the original colour, that's the colour with the powder on it. And then you can go over it with your top coat as per normal. Now if you've got eagle eyes, you might spot that there is some kind of design in there. Right, how to do that? Well, when you put your powder onto your nail, you take a craft stamp. I've made up some craft stamps for nail use. And basically, when it's covered in powder, if you then roll that stamp over it, it will take off the powder where it contacts with the stamp. So you get a reverse image. And that is a fun thing to do. And then of course you go over it with the top coat and proceed as normal. So there we go. That's how to practice nail stamping without spending a fortune on your nail polishes and without getting a headache from the fumes. Take care now. Bye bye.